Did you know that Black Americans are 3 times more likely to be killed by police than white Americans? A shocking statistic that highlights just one facet of systemic racism in America. A topic that's hard to ignore, and today, we're diving deep into it. So, what exactly is systemic racism? It's not just about individual acts of prejudice. It's woven into the very fabric of our institutions and society. Systemic racism refers to the policies and practices entrenched in established institutions that result in the exclusion or promotion of designated groups. It isn't just history, it's a reality that impacts millions of lives in America every single day. Now, let's break down some of the key areas where systemic racism shows up. First up is education. Studies show that schools in predominantly Black neighborhoods receive significantly less funding than those in predominantly white areas. This creates a massive gap in educational resources and opportunities. Next, let's talk about the criminal justice system. Black individuals are disproportionately stopped, searched, and arrested compared to their white counterparts. And then there's employment. Despite equal qualifications, Black applicants often face discrimination in hiring processes. These issues are interconnected and perpetuate a cycle of disadvantage. All right, let's dig a little deeper into how systemic racism plays out in these areas. In education, the funding disparities can lead to overcrowded classrooms, outdated materials, and fewer extracurricular opportunities, all of which disadvantage students. In terms of the criminal justice system, the statistics are staggering. For example, Black men are 6 times more likely to be incarcerated than white men. This isn't just about numbers, it's about real lives being affected, families being torn apart. And in the job market, studies have shown that resumes with traditionally Black names receive fewer callbacks than those with traditionally white names, even when qualifications are identical. This discrimination not only affects income, but also impacts mental health and community stability. Now, let me share a powerful story that really highlights the impact of systemic racism. A friend of mine, let's call him Jamal, grew up in a neighborhood where the schools were severely underfunded. Despite being a straight A student, he faced numerous challenges, from outdated textbooks to lack of access to advanced classes. After high school, he applied to several colleges. However, he faced rejection after rejection, not because he wasn't qualified, but because the system had stacked the odds against him from the very beginning. His story isn't unique. It's a reflection of what many people of color experience every day. It's not just a personal struggle. It's a systemic issue that needs to be addressed. So, to wrap things up, understanding systemic racism is crucial if we want to create a more equitable society. It's about recognizing that these issues aren't just isolated incidents. They're part of a larger problem that affects millions. We've discussed the challenges in education, criminal justice, and employment, and how they interconnect to perpetuate inequality. Now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on systemic racism? Have you experienced or witnessed it in your life? Drop your comments down below. And if you're interested in exploring more about this topic, check out my video on the history of racism in America for more insights. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the conversation going.